Hello YouTube, it is I, Hawkwing048, here to give my case for Ghost Rider. For those of you who don't know what this is, it is a video in which I theorycraft what ways Ghost Rider could get into the Avengers game, and what his moveset could be if he was actually put into the game. With that being said, let's get right into it. Roll the intro.
The Avengers!
The spirit of vengeance itself, bound to a being strong enough to fight the devil himself. Ghost Rider has the power not only to beat almost any foe into submission, he also has the power to destroy a being's very soul. Able to conjure hellfire and chains, the Rider would have melee combos with longer reach than a good number of the rest of the team, using the chains to hit many targets in wide arcs and burning the very ground they walk on when they get too close. His range attacks would be using the chain to pull in targets or throw the weighted end to deal damage. Think similar to Ms. Marvel's her grabs from range. That's kind of what I have an idea of for the chain. But instead of being able to freely maneuver them, you pull them in and swing them around. Normally I don't talk about this, but his traversal method would obviously have to be the Hell Cycle. There is no debate on this. It has to be done. It can't be Ghost Rider if he can't ride. His intrinsic power would essentially act in a similar fashion to Thor's Odin Force, using hellfire to parry and tank hits and amplify attacks. Assault Heroic would be Ghost Rider blasting a massive cone of hellfire in front of him, burning all targets in front of him, inflicting burn on the victims. His Support Heroic would be tapping into the being bound to his very soul, Zarathos. Ghost Rider amplifies his already impressive powers, dealing more damage, emitting hellfire around himself and damaging enemies around him, and unlocks a special power-up for his Ultimate Heroic. His Ultimate Heroic would of course be the Penance Stare, an attack that sears a being's very soul. The Rider uses the stare on the enemies around him, inflicting the victims with burn, dealing massive damage. And if the Rider is buffed by his Support Heroic, he loses control and explodes, releasing Zarathos and turning into the Angel of Justice himself. He has a set of new melee and ranged attacks and is in this new state for 30 seconds before Johnny Blaze regains control of Zarathos, returning to the Rider. That would be essentially my theory on what his moveset would be. Now, as for what his reasoning for working with the Avengers, what would cause him to show up, that's kind of an easy one, honestly. He would be... It's Mephisto. It's always going to be Mephisto. Basically, my theory is, in the storyline that I had for Doctor Strange, where you team up with him to deal with Mephisto, you run into the Rider. It's a continuation of the story from there. And you team up with Johnny to take down Mephisto. And by take down, I don't mean destroy him permanently. That's kind of impossible for the most part. But it would be basically thwarting his plan to invade Earth, which is typically what he wants to do. Him and Dormammu are kind of all over that. But that's essentially my theory on that. And I honestly feel like that's kind of just a simple one. But you know how it is. Not every character can have a super in-depth reason for joining the team. Sometimes it's going to be as simple as, hey, look, the devil is trying to invade Earth and destroy it. We got to stop him. But honestly, for me, it was more of the moveset, because Ghost Rider is an insane character, and I kind of want to see him get into this game. And it'd be a really cool idea, honestly, because Ghost Rider's a fun character. He's super cool, and he's insanely powerful. This man can take the Hulk in a fight. So he may look dumb by today's standards, but, I mean, he's still one of the more powerful heroes on Earth. So, that being said, that's my theory on that. And if you have any ideas on what some of his moveset could be, or even costume ideas for him, because he's got a plethora of cool looking outfits he could wear, let me know in the comments. And if you have an idea for a character you would like to see theory crafted this way, even if I don't know them that well, I will do the research. There are a couple of characters right now I'm going into that I don't have the most knowledge on, but I'm still trying to do research to figure out the best way to implement them into the game. But let me know in the comments if you have a character you'd like to see me talk about. And with that being said, I think that will be the end of this video. Yeah, it's a short one, I know, but they can't all be, 15-minute ones like the Heroes for Hire. That being said, though, I do have a longer one pretty much almost ready to go. I just got to actually film it, and then I will let you guys know when that comes out. So, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.
The Avengers!